अभी सिर्फ यही देखो कि उधर ऑडियो वीडियो सब चल रहा है क्या।
यू आर लाइव नाउ सर।
ओके।
स्ट्रीमिंग हो
और
रहा है।
ऑडियो आ रहा है।
एक मिनट सर, मुझे यहाँ का ऑडियो बंद करने दो।
हाँ, मैंने अभी जो बात किया था वो सुनाई देना चाहिए आपको वहां पे।
युट्यूब लिंक कुठे आहे?
मी मेसेज केलाय बघा स्टाफला वगैरे सकाळी, त्याच्यात आहे युट्यूब लिंक.
अच्छा, एक मिनिट.
पाठवू का परत?
टीचिंग वर टाका परत नंतर.
ओके.
हा, ओके, इट इज देअर.
सापडली? टाकू परत?
नाही, ठीक आहे.
मी मेसेज केलाय बघा स्टाफला वगैरे सकाळी, त्याच्यात आहे.
हो, येतंय. थोडा लेट होतोय.
हा, तो थोडा लेट होईल. बरोबर.
हा, थोडा एक मिनिटाचा गॅप आहे.
ओके. मग मी आता व्हिडिओ बंद करतो आणि युट्यूब लाईव्ह असंच चालू राहू द्या, है ना?
हा, ठीक आहे. डिस्कनेक्ट करू नका आता. सो शार्प 4 वाजता सुरू करतोय ना आपण?
हो.
नितिन सर,
हाँ बोलो सर.
क्लियर है सर?
क्लियर है ना? गुड.
यस विजिबल है.
ओके.
वीडियो भी विजिबल है, ऑडियो भी विजिबल है, सो यू कैन कंटिन्यू.
ओके.
ओके.
So we will start in another 5 minutes. The speaker will join.
Okay.
And after that the joint director will join. और जो शेड्यूल डिसाइड किया उसके हिसाब से विल प्रोसीड.
ओके, ठीक है सर. लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग होने दो, कुछ मत करो अभी. We'll wait for 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, then we'll start. Okay.
Right. Okay, I think the speaker will be joining us very shortly, and also Joint Director Dr. Sanjay Jagtap will also be joining. Yeah, I think he's already here. Namaskar, sir.
हाँ नमस्कार नमस्कार निखिल.
थँक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग. आपण शार्प 4 ला सुरू करू.
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है.
या टेल मी.
लाईव्ह चाललं असेल बघू.
I just called the speaker, so he will also be joining us shortly. अच्छा, मैं फिर से आपको लिंक भेज रहा हूँ. हाँ हाँ, मैं फिर से भेज रहा हूँ. It seems he is having some problem to join. I'm sending him the link again.
Hello, Nitin sir.
Yeah, Alvin sir, yes.
Yeah, can we start now? Sir has joined.
Yeah, sir has joined. I'm waiting for the speaker. He is having some issues with joining. I
Okay.
called him just now. Give me 2 minutes.
No problem.
Yeah. Satish sir, are you there? Can you call me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should I share the YouTube link?
No. Can you call me? Give me a call on my phone. There is
Okay,
some
sir.
technical problem.
Okay, sir.
Participants, please bear with me. In a short while, we'll start the program.
Sure, sir.
Satish sir, I have sent an attendance link to you on Commerce Teachers Group. So you please send it to the students joining through the YouTube.
So we are trying to solve the problem at the speaker's end. Probably one of our colleagues is helping him out. As soon as he joins in, I'm ready to start. उनके एंड से प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है। एक दूसरा करना पड़ सकता है कि नया लिंक जनरेट करना पड़ेगा जूम का उनके
ठीक है
लिए।
ठीक है सर।
ये लिंक बंद करके और फिर
I
उसको
have joined.
ओके
I
आ
have
गया।
joined. I have joined.
I
Okay,
think yes,
okay, sir.
sir has joined. Sir has joined.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
sir, apologies for the delay,
No
technical
problem.
glitch.
It's okay. No,
Uh,
it's okay.
Okay, our guest speaker has joined. I welcome everyone to this program on the eve of Martyrs Day or Shahid Divas. I am Nitin Sonone from Abhinav College of Arts, Science, Commerce, located in Bhayandar, Thane, Maharashtra. And this is a series of events that we plan to hold. First of those series called the National and International Commemoration Days Series 2022. And as a host, it is my job to give an introduction to the theme of the day. And after that, we will go on to have a welcome address by Dr. Sanjay Jagtap, followed by Principal Alvin Menezes. And then we have a brief student presentation. After that, our speaker will address us on the theme of today. That is Bhagat Singh and the idea of his dreams. I welcome all those who have joined us on YouTube live stream. I am sure that all our participants are able to hear us and see us in this program.
Nitin,
Friends, yes, sir.
I'm sorry to intervene.
Yes, sir.
Because we have just been left with 1 hour now. Because
Okay.
I am in Bhagat Singh archives. They
Okay.
have to leave it by 5:15, at best 5:30. Not
All right.
beyond that. So
All right.
then, it will be some disturbance.
Nitin,
So-
you start his lecture immediately.
Okay.
There,
Okay,
there
sir.
should not be any formality. Give his the
Okay.
ample
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to speak on it.
All right. All right. So straight away, I'm going to introduce our speaker very briefly, and so that he can speak for the time that has been decided. Uh, uh, it is indeed an honor to introduce Dr. Professor Chaman Lal to all of you. Our speaker for the day wears many hats. He was chairperson of the Center for Comparative Languages, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, between 2005 to 12. He was also a student there, completing his MPhil and PhD. Earlier, he served with the Central University of Punjab. Also, he was a visiting professor at University of West Indies. He specializes in Bhagat Singh studies, Hindi novel, and Indian Dalit literature. He has supervised 15 PhD and 35 MPhil students. He's taught at the undergraduate, MPhil, and PhD levels. He has 50 plus books in Hindi, Punjabi, English, Marathi, and Urdu. More than 500 research papers and articles. He has a lot of research work done. He was awarded the prestigious Sahitya Akademi National Translation Prize for translation of Punjabi poet Pasha's poetry in Hindi in 2002. Subsequently, he returned that prize in 2016 in protest. Dear friends and participants and students, it is a matter of great honor to have such an esteemed scholar amongst us. I now request Professor Chaman Lal to deliver his address. Thank you.
Thanks, Nitin. I'm sorry that I got delayed due to technical reasons. So I was not able to sign in. So anyway, so 15 minutes we lost in this thing.
Yes.
And actually, I appreciate your college initiative and to hold this discussion. And you see, I'm sitting in Bhagat Singh archives in Delhi. So we have the collection of all the freedom struggle movements from 1857 to 1947, and a special section on the Singh and also on his comrades. So, thing is, Bhagat Singh is one of the most popular icons of Indian history, and he's popular all the time among youth, especially, and among other sections also, like the farmers, which had a 1 year long, more than 1 year, 1.5 year long struggle. So they were all holding Bhagat Singh photographs, they were reading Bhagat Singh books, etc., while sitting at the single borders in Delhi. So largely Bhagat Singh's image has been created out of certain paintings, certain which are imaginative. But if you can see so there are some photographs of Bhagat Singh displayed there. So they are at least they are the real photographs of Bhagat Singh. So there are only 4 real photographs of Bhagat Singh, and but photographs do not matter much. What matters more is his ideas. And his ideas remained, in oblivion for a very long period. Although during his lifetime itself, he was writing a lot of things, publishing while he was in jail, and his court statement, 6 June 1929, it was splashed almost all over the country, from the Bhagat Patrika to Calcutta and your, Hitwad in Maharashtra and all parts of the country, all languages carried his that statement in full, in fact. And so now, but later on, after his execution, on his first birthday, 28 September 1931, one of his seminal essays, Why I'm an Atheist, that was published in The People, the weekly journal set up by Lala Lajpat Rai, and it was edited by Lala Firoz Chand. Now, these things were giving some picture, and even while he was alive, there was a student conference in Lahore on 22nd October 1929. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose has especially come from Calcutta to preside over that conference. And after the conference, Netaji had gone to Lahore courts where Bhagat Singh was appearing that day, and they had met Bhagat Singh there. And Bhagat Singh's message to the conference was read in the student conference that was being held. So in that message, which was a short message, he addressed the students while saying that this is a time when we cannot ask you to take over to bombs and pistols. Now there is a need to go to the farms, to go to the factories, to make farmers and workers conscious and aware of India's, slavery and also about their rights. So you have to organize farmers and workers for a larger freedom struggle and also for their own rights. And there is one of his famous quotes, which is from the letter to young political workers, which he wrote on 2nd February 1931, just 1.5 months before his execution, in which he says that what difference does it make to a farmer or a worker if in place of Lord Irwin, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru is made Viceroy of India, or in place of Lord Reading, Sir Purushottam Das Thakkar, who was a Bombay industrialist, is made the Viceroy of India. So he said for them, it matters their life, whether their life changes or not. If hands changes in the government, whether they were white hands or whether they were brown hands or whether they were black hands, it doesn't make difference. Farmers and peasants who work in fields, who work in factories, unless and until their life improves, their life gets them the proper remuneration for their labor, and they can live a better life. They can educate their children. They can. So it doesn't make any difference. So for Bhagat Singh, actually, the statement which has been so much viral in those days in the papers, because they used to, give slogans of Inqilab Zindabad while appearing in the court. And they will continue to sing songs and then they will continue to sing slogans. So judge once asked presiding magistrate that ये तुम लोग इतना ज्यादा नारा लगाते हो इनकलाब जिंदाबाद का, तो just explain us what इनकलाब means. So then Bhagat Singh told him that by revolution we mean to overthrow a system in which a man exploits other men. We want to build a system which is exploitation free, where a man is not able to exploit other men or other men. So all human beings are equal, all human beings get the proper reward, proper, remuneration for their labor so that their life can be comfortable. They have education for their children, they have proper food, they have proper dignity of life also. Every human being must have his or her dignity. Now, this is what he told. In fact, once Ramanand Chatterjee, who was a very eminent journalist and who was editing the Modern Review journal from Calcutta. And that Modern Review journal was a fantastic kind of journal in which Mahatma Gandhi wrote, Jawaharlal Nehru wrote, Hitesh Chandra Bose wrote, all these great, Rabindranath Tagore wrote, all these great people were writing in that journal. Now, in that journal also, Ramanand Chatterjee once made a fun of this slogan, Inqilab Zindabad. So then Bhagat Singh replied to rebutted Ramanand Chatterjee's editorial. His letter to Ramanand Chatterjee was published in the Tribune from Lahore. It was published from Lahore. So he addresses him as a very respected journalist, not in the language of these days trolling, that everybody is trolling the other one. You see, even on posts on Bhagat Singh, if you go to Twitter, if you go to social media, so much shit is being thrown. People have become so stupid in the last 10 to 10 years due to the social media that they keep on shitting on the social media. They don't have any sense of proportion, what to say and what not to say, and whatever nonsense is in their head, they keep on expressing on Twitter, Instagram, and other social media. And about Bhagat Singh also, people have stopped reading proper books, proper history books, proper knowledgeable kind of, you are in a college, you have to, your colleagues, and you have to interact with students, and you have to teach students what are the sources of knowledge, what are the sources of history, how should one understand the reality. So, for the last 10 years, people are so fooled by this social media that anything can go, whether it is any authenticity to the statement they make or not. But they just want to spit it out and they spit it out. And nobody can check them. And there is such a, this technique of social media is such. And these founders of social media, founders of Facebook, founders of Twitter, etc., and many others, they have earned huge. They have become maybe the 10 most powerful and most money people of the world. Right. They are, exploiting people and making people fools, making people stupid, hammering on their intellect, and they're turning them into, machines. And this WhatsApp University, the term which has evolved, that WhatsApp University, if you, as a teacher, you have to define to your student, WhatsApp University, what is WhatsApp University? So it's a university where lies are told. So lies are spread, and they are spread so widely that the way WhatsApp messages are transferred from one to other, and in the last, when in this WhatsApp university, it's difficult to share grain from the 90% is all, such stupid and kind of things which people are. This is actually has become such a serious problem
Yes.
that even Bhagat Singh and other freedom fighters and other revolutionaries never faced in their life. They faced the enemy, the British colonialism, the power of this British colonialism through army, through military, through police, the oppressive power. But they had intellectual power through education system, through Lord Macaulay, etc. But that was the kind of thing which could have been countered, which had been being countered earlier and even being countered now also. But there was no shit at that time, which one has to clean. All around it's a shit. And more than a political battle, it has become, the mind has been filled with such a kind of thing that there has been no window in the mind to where wisdom could enter, where intellect could enter. People have been turned into such. So that has been a big challenge. Now, how to find idea of Bhagat Singh, India? When Bhagat Singh's idea of India, this was not Bhagat Singh's idea of India at all. You could never imagine. Nobody could have imagined where the technology would lead to, where the technology will develop, where the, But this is the two parts of science and technology. One part is positive, very positive, which makes life comfortable, which indulges in very good research. We have gone through COVID for the last 2 years, and within 5-6 months, medical scientists have been able to generate a vaccination for that, and people have been using that vaccination, and lives are being saved also. But then the same science has a other aspect also, where the research is being done on bombs, how to make bombs, how the Russia and Ukraine are fighting now, and everybody is scared that it could lead to Third World War. It could lead even to nuclear kind of explosions, which could be much more harmful than even Nagasaki and Hiroshima at the time of Second World War. This is, the destructive part of science. So is technology. But in technology, this social media has a positive aspect in the beginning. People got voice, completely suppressed people, unknown people, they got voice. They could just express themselves. Like women sitting in home, just housewives, they cannot even utter a word. They're so suppressed, etc. But they would come on Facebook and write about their feelings, about their ambitions. But slowly and slowly, within 3-4 years, this media took such a destructive turn that all the positive aspects of this media went into oblivion, and all kinds of 90%, 70%, 80%, this media is being now used as a destructive media, and it doesn't educate people, doesn't enlarge their knowledge, doesn't enlarge their wisdom, doesn't make them a thinking being. And for Bhagat Singh, the most important aspect to all his writing was a critical bent of mind, critical thinking. Critical thinking was the most important aspect, crucial aspect. He has on record saying that read things, study things, contemplate things, and don't trust with closed eyes. So आँख मूंद कर किसी चीज पर विश्वास मत करो. पढ़ो, उसके ऊपर विचार करो, और जब वो तर्क की कसौटी पर खरी उतरे बात, तब उसको स्वीकार करो, नहीं तो रद्द करो. So that is the kind of thing which he has been pleading. And even about revolution, he has said that revolution is vetted on the sword of revolution is vetted on the basis of reason. So rationality is the most important aspect. Now, this is a strange contradiction. People look at Bhagat Singh emotionally, but people do not look at Bhagat Singh rationally. And he was the most rational man. And it's not that he was emotionless. He was emotional, he was caring about all his comrades. He cared so much that even during when he was in jail, when he was asking his friends to send something like books, or what he was asking for personal things like t-shirts or pleats, or and he was also asking, always asking 2 pairs, one for Bhatukeshwar Dutt, one for himself. And then he was writing that Bhatukeshwar Dutt's cigarettes have exhausted, and he needs cigarette. To send for him cigarettes also. That way he was so liked and loved by his comrades. Everybody thought him to be a very caring person. He was very caring and he was very daring also, because he chose the path to martyrdom by himself. Nobody, pushed him to the path of martyrdom, because they started with, he was in National College Lahore. Now, National College was set up as a part of freedom struggles, Gandhi's call to set up a national education institution. So, Kashi Vidyapit, Gujarat Vidyapit, National College Lahore, Jamia, these were the national institutions set up in different states in different names. The National College was set up, and he joined National College. All his teachers like Acharya Nugul Kishore, Principal Shri Das, Jayachandra Jalkar, they were all very eminent scholars, etc. And he was trained there, and there they made Naujawan Bharat Sabha. There he joined HRA, Hindustan Republican Association. Later on, when HRA conducted some action, did some action like Kakori, Rail Equity, then Ramprasad Bismillah Shafaqullah, Roshan Singh, and Narendra Ladi, these 4 of their comrades were executed. Now they, reviewed all these things. They reached this conclusion that it's not good to indulge in, terrorist activities, and it's need to organize people on the ground as masses, as Gandhi was doing, and with a vision. And that vision was of socialism. So that's why on 8th and 9th September 1928, in Delhi Broshakotla Ground meeting, they changed the name of HRA to HSR, Hindustan Socialist Republican Army, and its political wing, Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. Now, from that, actually, they were, doing certain actions. Then British government, because of Lala Lajpat Rai was, in a way killed by British lathis, because he was leading at the request of youth the procession against Simon Commission in Lahore. He was brutally lathi charged, others also. So, but with the lathi charge reason, Lala Lajpat Rai passed away on 17th November. So then Basanti Devi, the widow of Chittaranjan Das, very great nationalist, she said the youth of this country are dead. Can't they see that such a hugely big national of India has been killed by a petty police officer? So they had decided not to do the same, but they took it as a sort of question of dignity of the country. So as a dignity of the country to protect, they assassinated Saunders. And Scott was the officer who has given order to hit Lala Lakshmitra and others. Saunders was his DSP. Saunders actually hit with lakhis. Now, when that action was done, then they realized that now they have very little time left. Because once they are arrested, the sure sentence was death sentence. So they knew in advance. So they, took this decision to, because British government had brought two laws, trade disputes bill, which was curtailing the rights of workers, and public safety bill, which was curtailing the rights of citizens as civil liberties and everything. But they decided not to do any harm to the members sitting in the Central Assembly, which is the Parliament of today. So there was Motilal Nehru sitting there, Jinnah was sitting there, and Madan Mohan Malviya was sitting there, many other people. So they threw harmless bombs, which only exploded given voice, and they threw leaflets, papers. Those who are deaf, they need to be awakened by loud noise. So later on, the trial went on, and they used the trial as a platform to spread their ideas of revolution, their ideas of socialism, their ideas of exploitation-free society, their idea of caste and such kind of communalism-free society. So that's what they did. And for that, he went on hunger strike 3 times. Almost 5 months he spent in hunger strikes. Then twice during the trial, he was very badly beaten, not only by Singh, but other his comrades also. 2 comrades of his just has fallen, so much that they were unconscious. So Singh had to warn the magistrate that if anything happens to them, he will be responsible for that. So along with these things, he was reading so much that his jail notebook was written in jail. So that is not very of the jail, but it's the notes taken from the books which he was reading, the quotations and notes. So that way he was, developing his personality till the last time of his life. So on the last day of his life, when he was supposed to be executed on 24th March morning, this is the practice throughout the world. But British regime was so cruel and so fearful also. They were scared of this. And they were scared of attack on the Hello? My voice is clear or some problem?
No, it's audible, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Ah.
You're audible.
Audible. Okay, so then, the last day, his friend and lawyer, Pranath Mehta, went to a day earlier. So he asked them to bring me a book which was in news in those days. He has read some review. And that was a book online. So on 23rd morning, Pranath Mehta took that book to jail. And without losing a minute, he just said hello to him and just got immersed in the book. And even when Pranath Mehta was asking any last question for the nation or for the youth, so he just wished him, and then kept on reading. He was thinking that he will wake up whole night and read the complete book and then go to gallows. So, but by 4 o'clock in the evening, so the warders came and told him that he has to get ready. So he got the idea that he knew that they have decided to cut short his life. So he said, okay, just wait a minute. And he, read the paragraph which he was reading and then folded the page and kept the book. He said, okay. चलो तो वो इनकलाब जिंदाबाद के नारे लगाते हुए सुखदेव और राजगुरु के साथ और राजगुरु was from a Khed village near Pune. Now that village or town, it's town almost, it has been named as Rajguru Nagar. I had visited that place. So they all cheerfully went to gallows and got the news in their own neck by themselves. And then told the minister that Mr. Minister, you will be lucky to see how Indian revolutionaries go to gallows cheerfully. And they kept on shouting till last in the and their story ended. But she was so cruel that they cut their bodies into pieces, put them into sacks, and took in a truck from the back gate of the jail towards Firozpur, about 560 kilometers from Lahore, and just half burned their bodies, took some Pandit, Granthi, etc. And people went behind them, and they ultimately got, the half burned pieces of the body to Lahore, and they properly cremated on the Ravi lines and taking out 3 arthis. So his idea actually, what happened is that after his execution, his image of a fearless man, a very brave man, was so much overplayed that his proper personality in the form of an intellectual, of a visionary, of a sort of philosophical aspect, that got somehow overshadowed or even suppressed. So only after 40 years of his execution, in 70s, his writings started to be coming and getting published. So they published Punjabi, Hindi, and from 74 to now 2022. By 74 to about 18, 19, in the light. So by now, there are about 130 plus writings available. Even in Marathi, you're in Bombay, so in Marathi, Dr. Datta Desai had translated most of 126 of his writings, and that is available in, actually it has run into 2 editions. First edition was in 2008, it was released at Pune University by Justice P.B. Sawant, who also wrote the introduction to that book. The second edition was brought out in 2016, and it was updated. So now there is a sort of tussle. Some people want to drag Bhagat Singh into darkness in the sense that they want to keep on harping on his pictures and showing just a fearless man and don't want to present him a man with a vision, a man with certain ideas, a man with a dream of a future India. So that they just do not want people to know. And there is people who want Bhagat Singh to be known as a visionary, as a social revolutionary, as a man of the people who was fighting for people's rights, not only for the independence of the country, but he was fighting against feudalism, against exploitative system, and he was against British as well as Indian capitalists or traders. So in that sense, these writings are now getting into focus, but slowly. more people are enamored by his pictorial image of Pagadi, which is a more, of course, and they just want to have stories about him, stories of his bravery, but less of his ideas, of his vision. His essay Achut Smashya, the issue of untouchability, which he wrote, in 1927-28. So he writes a very strong words. He writes that a dog can enter our kitchens, but a untouchable human being cannot enter. With untouchable human beings, so he was very angry on those things, and he addressed in today's term, we will say Dalits. In those days, term, actually the Achut was the term, which was popularized by Mahatma Gandhi. So that term was being used for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So, but he addresses them as loins, that you are loins of India, and come out and snatch your rights. He doesn't say beg for your rights. He says snatch your rights. You have rights to a dignified life. You are equal to any other human being. You must live with dignity, and if they don't allow you to live with dignity, snatch those, fight for those rights. So this is the kind of thing. That's why the Dalit movement in India, after Ambedkar, they loved Bhagat Singh equally. Even though he was not from Dalit background, but his solidarity with Dalits was such. So he was dead against communalism. The kind of riots, there were riots in Kohat, in Subai Sarhad, which is now in Pakistan, Pakhtunkhwa. Very brutal riots were there. So then he wrote against those riots that how religion is harming our freedom struggle, how country needs to unite. But then these religions, they create enmity, they create hatred. That's the same situation today. In today's society also, there are forces who are forces, these forces represent hatred. They don't love. Actually, this social media, much hatred is spread from the social media, this Twitter and these social platforms. So they are much more dangerous than recent times, because through this is so fast social media, and they spread hatred so fast that it results in riots at so many places. So the thing is, irony is that after 47, these things should have been eliminated from our side. There should not have been any riot anyway because of such divisive kind of things. But such unfortunate situation is that we have all kinds of riots. There are just Kohat we refer to, but then we have Vendis and Meerats and so many Delhi riots, Ahmedabad riots, Gujarat riots, all places there, and much more people have been massacred than during British times. Nearly massacred in Assam, Gujarat massacred in Gujarat, Delhi massacred, in Delhi. So it's a hugely tragic and sad situation. But then Bhagat Singh, represents a kind of, beacon light, a kind of situation India has got stuck in. It's very badly stuck in. And especially in the last 10 years or so, it's such a bad situation. Education is being destroyed. All rational and scientific education is being hit by the present regime. They're just out to destroy the scientific kind of knowledge, and they want to fill the knowledge with religious scriptures and mythical stories and so that our young minds get blunt. They don't have any capacity to think over it. And once they are not able to think over it, critically think over it, they cannot make any researches. They cannot make any achievements in science or medicine or engineering or any such things which are essential for humanity or human development. So in such a bad situation, the whole country, especially the youth, needs to take inspiration from Bhagat Singh's ideas, not just from his stories or just from his pictures, but his essays are, essential to read. His writings are essential to read, and I think in all colleges, even if these things are not in syllabi, teachers should, encourage their students, inspire their students to read Bhagat Singh, to read Dr. Ambedkar's writing, to read Periyar's writing, to read Jyotiba Phule's writing. These are great social reformers and they are great social transformers. So our Indian society is so badly backward that in world happiness, meter, it's at the lowest end.
Right.
Afghanistan and India are at such a lowest level of happiness. Why people are not happy? When people's minds are filled with hatred, people's minds are filled with the lack of opportunities. They are worried about employment. They are worried about hunger. People died, just what you can say, कीड़े मकोड़ों की तरह कोविड के दौरान लोग मरे. कहाँ कहाँ पे गंगा पे पॉइंट तक लिखी गई कि क्या क्या कुछ हुआ. तो उस हालत में कैसे खुशी हो सकती? कोविड तो सब जगह हुआ है, लेकिन why Finland is at number 1 in history? That's why Scandinavian countries are at number first 10 countries to have the happiness, because their society is secure. Their society is free of communism, free of casteism, free of hatred. Every citizen is given a very good education. Every citizen has a very good health facilities. They don't even have to spend money on health. They don't have to spend money on education. That is the kind of society Bhagat Singh wanted to build for India. It's not the ये वो हिंदुस्तान तो नहीं जो भगत सिंह ने सोचा था. तो जो भगत सिंह ने सोचा था वो हिंदुस्तान बनाने के लिए तो हमारे नौजवानों को, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को, हमारे हर सिटीजन को, एनलाइटन सिटीजन को बहुत लंबा स्टडी करना पड़ेगा. First thing is to bring enlightenment. And even before you go into the path of actual study, the enlightenment education is most necessary. And education of Bhagat ideas, what Bhagat Singh thought. You see, that positive part also exists, which Indian farmers have showed in the last 2 years, that inspired by Bhagat Singh, inspired by Dr. Ambedkar, inspired by enlightened social reformers, the social revolutionaries' vision, they fought such a fantastic, historic, glorious battle, even while sacrificing 750 of their farmers. But they gave a hope to not only whole of India, but gave hope to whole of the world. Even Noam Chomsky, like 90 plus old, the world's topmost intellectuals, have appreciated the farmers' movement, and that farmers' movement had come through from, apart from other things, from Bhagat Singh's ideas of India, also that farmers had the right. So I think I should conclude by saying these things, that our youth must concentrate on students of your college, students of university, students of other colleges, whosoever is listening and whosoever can spread it further to their friends, to their listening, they must, seek knowledge, proper knowledge through proper, authentic books, books of history, books of science, and even for literature and arts, they need to have the very good high standard literature and arts appropriated. Bhagat Singh in his jail notebook, if he has read all the very highly philosophized Marxist books, Marx, Engels, Trotsky, Lenin, etc. But then the other side, he has also read the world's most classic literature. Victor Hugo, Dostoevsky. Now, these are the kind of things which made a human being very, very far-sighted, very, very elevated mind, and then that mind can create wonders. As Bhagat Singh could create wonders just in 7 years. I mean, he just was executed at the age of 23 plus. But then he just started around the age of 16. So in 7 years, political life or social-political life, he has created a wonder. And our youth has the competence and, to create such wonders. Bhagat Singh hundreds of Bhagat Singh can come out of our society if they follow the enlightenment, the knowledge path shown by Bhagat Singh, not just the bombs which he threw in assembly, not just the pistol shot with which Sanders was killed. In fact, they said in the court that we hate to, kill a man we never wanted. But he was a symbol of oppression of British colonialism. And that symbol has killed our own great leader. It was an attack on Indian nationalism. So that's what we had taken revenge of. Otherwise, among them, so they talk like this, that he was such a handsome man, he was such a young player, he was actually a good player also. So they could appreciate his individual qualities. They had no hatred for a British race, for a white race, nothing of the sort.
Correct.
They, as a wish frame, universal love. So, in fact, in that, he is beyond national. He said the humanity all over the world is same. In fact, he talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakum also. The whole earth is a family. And this family contains these national boundaries are just artificial. The humanity is natural. Humanity can be, actually, there were no nations in the beginning. When the life came out from African countries, the human born, I think, as science tells, that a human being came out first in Africa and then developed the world. So nations and nation building, and nation boundaries and nation geographies, they are all human made. They are not nature made. But human being has come as a part of the nature. So he was in that sense nationalist and equally internationalist. So for him, the whole humanity was one, and the whole humanity should progress, not just one nation, but just one kind of people. So that's where that enlightenment, so has to be appropriated by our youth, and they will feel so good. Actually, if they could release their mind from the hatred and false knowledge and kind of thing, and if they just start reading such things, they will definitely feel very happy and relieved. But there are physical troubles in life. there are hunger, there are unemployment, everything. But there is some kind of happiness comes through even in your mental level, also your psychological level also. When you read a good thing, when you see a good film, also is so fond of films.
Yes, yes.
Whether it was films like Charlie Chaplin's films or Uncle Tom's Cabin kind of film. So he will fight with his comrades to get to go to the film, and they will skip food but still go for film. So that is a kind of, he was just like young like you people, as a college student. He was just like you. So he was not a big show off man. He was not a kind of thing, oh, he is a very big man. So he used to like to share work of his comrade. There are memoirs, then he will some excuse or other, he would take physical work from them and he will start doing himself. So that's a kind of human quality, that come out from life. I think youth should appropriate those kind of human qualities which Singh had. Even a little part of that will make them a better human being, and they will make them feel good of themselves also. Apart from others, they will feel good of themselves also. I think this is thus the essential thing for our today's life. With these words, I close my talk. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. It was wonderful listening to your ideas and your thoughts on Bhagat Singh and his life and the work that he did. Also, we have participants joining us from YouTube, so they can share the questions they have for the resource person, which we will collect, and if he has some more time.
Yeah, you can have, I actually closed so far, having some minutes, 15, 20 minutes of discussion.
Right. So they can share us, those who are participating from YouTube can share us the questions. We will pass it over to the resource person. And it was very interesting, sir, to listen to you on Bhagat Singh. Also, in the future, we hope that sometime we can have an offline session where you visit our college and we engage with the students on the different ideas that you have just now highlighted.
I would love to.
Yes, yes, sir. Let me tell all of you that he is very busy tomorrow, being the 23rd March. Still, he was able to find time for us, and that is really a good thing that all the students and teachers are able to hear to him. He's speaking from the, as he told, he's speaking from the Bhagat Singh archives in New Delhi. Professor Chaman Lal is an honorary advisor in the Bhagat Singh archives, and he's been associated with this, where all the original works and photographs are stored of Bhagat Singh and his work and his comrades. So that is also something that students should know about, and sometime plan to visit and see this place where it has all the original works. Any questions from our teacher participants? You can unmute and ask questions, our teacher participants. Any questions, Rajesh sir? Do you have any questions? Yeah. So as sir was mentioning that Bhagat Singh actually lived a very full life. He, in fact, I was reading your article, sir, on the revolutionary legacy of Bhagat Singh in Economic and Political Weekly. That Bhagat Singh,
Old article. Yeah.
So Bhagat Singh loved films. He read literature, and he also sung songs. He was a part of dramatics. He enjoyed dramas in his college days. And so I mean, it is an ideal where somebody can have a full life and also develop a critical thinking, critical ability to understand what is going around, what is supposed to be one's position on the present political, economic, social situations. And then when the time comes, you also are ready to give your life for the country. Yeah, so what Professor Chaman Lal has highlighted is that there is a bigger side to Bhagat Singh other than his revolutionary, heroic image that has been created. And that is something the young people and the students should take up, rather from getting in their information from social media, is to actually read and develop their critical thinking. That is what Bhagat Singh did. And that is why, as Professor Chaman Lal said, that he was both caring and daring. It's a rare combination of how you can have empathy and sympathy for all the fellow human beings, not only your own countrymen, not only your own community, but the entire community of humanity across your borders in the international sense. And then also being aware at the same time of what is happening around. So he was reading about the Russian Revolution. He was, talking about the Italian Marxist and things like that. So this could happen only because he read himself the original works of important works which were at that time. And so I think that is the message which Dr. Chaman Lal has given to the students and to us who are witnessing a kind of situation where the minds are full of what you call as of things which are far away from facts, and then this kind of misrepresentation or distortion feeding into hatred for others, for those who belong to a different kind of religion or caste or community, etc. So this is the message that Bhagat Singh gave, which Professor Lal has shared with us. Yeah, I think there is, yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. I'm audible.
Yes,
Hello.
you are audible. You
Yes,
are very
yes.
much audible. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you, sir, for enlight such issues on Bhagat Singh. But I want to know about the Indian political system during the 1944 to 1947. Sir, I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Okay. In 43 there was a Cripps scheme, then is a Bevel scheme, and from 44 to 47 there was a such right-wing forces wherein highlighted everybody that every wing was needed in a presentation. There has to be presentation from our force. So what may be the approach if the Bhagat Singh will be there during the 44 to 47? Will be he the part of the Congress, or will be he the part of the Socialist Party?
Actually, what it is, 3 or 4, Bhagat Singh was not there. So he was executed in 1931. So Bhagat Singh was not part of that.
No. I'm talking about if he's live from between.
He's assuming. He's saying if assuming.
It is a big question because it has many answers. So the one answer of it is that British were bent upon killing him because they knew that this man will not only dismantle colonial regime, he will dismantle the whole economic exploitative scheme also. And he is going to, go after not only British capitalists, he will go after Indian feudal and Indian capitalists also. So the whole Indian capitalist class, as well as British capitalist class, they have the common interest to kill this man. Because they knew he is a big danger for us. Because he saw in him the possibility of another Lenin, that he could become another Lenin, and smash the whole system, exploitative system. So that's how they were bent upon not to allow him to live.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Can you throw light on the recent developments where we find that during elections in Punjab, one of the parties appealed for Hindu votes openly, and then you have the chief minister's swearing-in ceremony happening in Bhagat Singh's home village, the place of his birth. Uh, and so, how do you see this kind of a contradiction containing in the same in the same party?
In fact, I would not like to actually make any commentary on the political developments around. But I will just like to say that if someone talks about Bhagat Singh, he or she should follow his ideals and ideas. If they follow his ideals and ideas, very well, very good. But if they just have his name for usage without any substance for his ideas, then that doesn't serve the society much.
Right. So our students actually, what we wanted to show with share with everyone was our students went around in the college and also in the locality to talk to students and general people of what is the level of awareness about Bhagat Singh in the young people in the locality where our college is located. So, but it seems that because of time constraints, we will not be able to show that. Is Nida Qureshi here? She was going to recite a poetry.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Hello?
Hello, Nida.
Hello?
Sorry. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Nitin,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but I mean to say that if you have to continue with the culture program, etc., song,
Okay.
poem, etc. So
Okay.
then you can actually ask once more that if
Okay.
any student or any teacher or many of you are presiding of principal,
The
someone
questions, right?
make some comment or anything.
Okay.
So in my presence, that is welcome, but
Okay.
otherwise you can continue and
Okay.
allow me to leave.
All right, sir. All right. So I will once again just check.
Let me tell Vida that I would love to hear her poem. So
Okay.
not to to hurt young people.
No,
But since I'm tied up in many things, so
that's all right, sir. That's all right. No
I
problem.
have to,
No problem. No problem. That's
Okay,
all.
okay, sir.
You have any question, Nida, to ask to Professor Chamanlal?
No, sir. I don't have any question right now.
Okay. Okay. So what we will do, sir, we will, if we get any questions, I will definitely email it to you.
yeah.
Before we close, if any of the teachers attending here, do they have any questions? Okay. So yeah, right. So since Professor Chamanlal would like to leave by 5:30, and it's already 5:20, I request my colleague at the Department of Political Science, Professor Aruna Gujar, to kindly propose the vote of thanks, after which we will continue with the other remaining segment of the program.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. On the occasion of Shahid Divas, we are very fortunate to have such a wonderful webinar on Bhagat Singh and his India of his dreams with such a great resource person. I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed dignitaries of the webinar for their presence. to make this webinar a great success. I extend my gratitude to our honorable chief guest and the resource person for the day, Professor Dr. Chaman Lal. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing such a great information about Shahid Bhagat Singh ji. Thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time. And it was a great pleasure to listen to you. I also extend my great gratitude to Dr. Sanjay Jagtap, sir, Joint Director, Panvel Region, Government of Maharashtra, Director of Higher Education, for his immense support to such a webinar. I would like to thank my in-charge principal, Alvin Manager, sir, for always supporting for such activities. I extend my gratitude to all, to Dr. Charles Verghese from the Tribal University, Amartang, Madhya Pradesh, for helping us in getting with the resource person for today. I thank you all the teaching and non-teaching staff of our college for their presence and their participation in the webinar. I am thankful to all the student participants for their active participation on YouTube from all over. And finally, I must thank organizing team and student volunteers for working so much hard for making this webinar such a successful. Especially Suchit Rathod, who designed the webinar poster for the program. Then we are having the other student volunteers who have taken the interviews of the local people and know about that, how much they are knowing about the Shahid Bhagat Singh. We are so thankful to Nida Qureshi, which she is going to present a beautiful poem in a very short time. And all the student volunteers like Vinay Pal, Sudhir Yadav, and other from SYBA as well as TYBA, from their team work very hard. They have worked to make this webinar very much successful. And thank you everyone once again for making this webinar very much successful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We hope to see you again.
Thank you all people who will listen to this so patiently. Thank you.
Thank
And
you, sir.
all the best wishes for your class.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Okay, I think the resource person has left. Now there are two things which the students have created, and I would request 10 minutes of your time to just see this. One is the video which our student has created, and I would like to play that video. And after that, the poem by Nida. All right, let me first go to the video. So this was something our students did. They went and took interviews of students and others.
Are you showing video?
Yeah. Is it visible to you now?
Yeah, visible.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay, I'm.
निदा कुरैशी है और आज मैं खड़ी हूँ अभिनव कॉलेज के बाहर जहां हम भगत सिंह को
Is it audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
audible.
sir. It is
Yes, sir.
audible,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
लेके एक सर्वे कर रहे हैं और यहाँ के स्टूडेंट से हम पूछे सत श्री अकाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम निदा कुरैशी है और आज मैं खड़ी हूँ अभिनव कॉलेज के बाहर जहाँ हम भगत सिंह को लेके एक सर्वे कर रहे हैं और यहाँ के स्टूडेंट से हम पूछेंगे भगत सिंह के बारे में। जी हाँ, भगत सिंह लोगों के दिलों में और इस देश की दीवार में चुना हुआ एक ऐसा नाम जिसको याद करके भारत की शान और ज़्यादा शानदार हो जाती है। तो चलिए देखते हैं यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स को भगत सिंह के बारे में कितना और क्या पता। हाय, आपका नाम क्या है?
साहिल कंवर।
ओके, एक्चुअली मैं अभिनव कॉलेज से ही हूँ और आप भी अभिनव कॉलेज से है। सो हमें हमारी क्लास में एक प्रोजेक्ट मिला है, भगत सिंह को लेकर हम एक सर्वे कर रहे हैं। तो जिसको लेकर मैं भगत सिंह को लेकर आपसे कुछ सवाल पूछूंगी एंड आपको जवाब देना है। सो आर यू रेडी? ओके, ठीक है, आप ये माइक पकड़ लीजिए और मैं जो सवाल करूँगी आपको बस उसका जवाब देना है, आपको जितना पता है, ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले हमें ये बताइए कि भगत सिंह की बर्थ और डेथ कब हुई थी? आपको पता है, कोई आइडिया?
भगत सिंह की बर्थ 28 सितंबर को हुआ था,
ओके
1907 को।
हाँ।
बंगा में हुआ था,
ठीक
जो
है।
कि आज का पाकिस्तान है।
हाँ
उस समय डिवाइड नहीं हुआ था, इसके लिए इंडिया में कहलाया गया। और उनकी
ओके।
डेथ 23 मार्च 1931 को हुई थी।
ओके।
उनकी डेथ, उनको हैंग किया गया था, ज़बरदस्ती मारा गया था।
और क्यों हैंग किया गया था आपको पता है?
उनको सज़ा सुनाई गई थी और उनको देश की शहादत के लिए हैंग किया गया था।
ठीक है। और अगर भगत सिंह को एक वर्ड में अगर डिस्क्राइब करना है या आपको बताना है तो आप कैसे उनको डिस्क्राइब करोगे?
भगत सिंह इज़ अ नेशन हीरो, नेशन
Okay.
हीरो। हम लोग उनसे काफ़ी मोटिवेटेड।
ठीक है। और जैसे कि हर इंसान का एक मोटिवेशन होता है, एक मेंटर, एक गुरु होता है, तो आपको पता है भगत सिंह का गुरु कौन था?
भगत सिंह के गुरु उनके चाचा लोग थे दो, और वो गांधी जी से भी काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशन थे। जब उनको सजा हुई थी तो गांधी जी ने भी हेल्प किया था, लेकिन बाकी लोग बोल रहे थे गांधी जी ने हेल्प नहीं किया, लेकिन गांधी जी भी हेल्प किए थे।
ठीक है। लास्ट सवाल कि जैसे आप हमारे भारत के कल हो, तो आप हमारे भारत के बीते हुए कल से कैसे इंस्पिरेशन लेते हो?
देखिए, भारत के बीते हुए कल से भगत सिंह बहुत हमारे लिए इंस्पिरेशन रहेंगे, और इतनी कम उम्र में उन्होंने देश के लिए शहादत दी, ये सबसे बड़ी बात है हमारे लिए। हमें गर्व होना चाहिए, उनसे कुछ सीखना चाहिए। आज की
Yes,
युवा पीढ़ी को
very
कुछ
good.
सीखना चाहिए, नए भारत आने वाली पीढ़ी को।
क्या आपको पता है भगत सिंह का स्लोगन क्या था?
भगत सिंह का यही स्लोगन था, इनकलाब जिंदाबाद। ये इनका
Okay.
बहुत फेमस स्लोगन है।
ठीक है। और भगत सिंह के बारे में किसी ने कुछ विरोध में कहा था उन्हें?
हमारे
क्या
देश की सबसे बड़ी न्यूज़पेपर टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में कहा गया था, ऐसा लिखा गया था, आर्टिकल्स है। आपको मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि वो टेररिस्ट घोषित किए गए हैं टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में, जो कि रोज़ टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया इंडिया का नंबर 1 पेपर है, उसमें टेररिस्ट घोषित किया गया उनको।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच आपका टाइम देने के लिए, आपका कीमती वक्त हमें देने के लिए।
गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों।
गुड मॉर्निंग।
मेरा नाम विनय पाल है। हम कॉलेज की तरफ से आए हैं भगत सिंह के ऊपर सर्वे करने के लिए। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कल 23 मार्च है, तो उस पे हम कॉलेज से हमें प्रोजेक्ट मिला है कि भगत सिंह के ऊपर एक सर्वे करना है। तो आपका नाम क्या है?
भार्गव।
भार्गव, ठीक है। आपका नाम?
सुधीर यादव।
अच्छा, तो आपसे मैं कुछ सवाल पूछूंगा जैसे हमारे प्रोजेक्ट से रिलेटेड है, तो आपको कुछ जवाब देना है, अपने ओपिनियन उस पर। तो पहले सवाल मैं आपसे करना चाहूँगा कि शहीद भगत सिंह का जन्म कब हुआ था? आपको मालूम है उसके बारे में कुछ?
हाँ मालूम है, जन्म उनका 27 सितंबर 1907 में हुआ था।
अच्छा, ठीक है। आपको मालूम है कब हुई थी मौत?
हाँ, मौत अभी उनकी तारीख आने वाली है 23 मार्च को।
अच्छा, आप
1931 में।
अच्छा, तो आप ये बता सकते हैं उनकी मौत मतलब उनको फांसी की सज़ा हुई थी, तो किस केस में उनको सज़ा हुई थी? आपको मालूम है इसके बारे में कुछ?
हाँ, उन्होंने मर्डर किया था, एक मर्डर केस था और एक बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट भी किया था। उन्होंने सॉन्ड्रस का मर्डर किया था और बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट किया था, पर वो भागे नहीं थे वहाँ से। फिर भी
सॉन्ड्रस कौन थे आपको पता है?
हाँ, एक ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर थे वो।
अच्छा, ठीक है, धन्यवाद भार्गव। सुधीर जी, आपसे कुछ सवाल करना चाहूँगा कि जैसा कि वैसे आप कौन से स्ट्रीम से हैं? आप कॉलेज स्टूडेंट लग रहे हैं।
आर्ट्स स्ट्रीम से हूँ।
आर्ट्स स्ट्रीम से, ठीक है। तो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आपने भगत सिंह की आइडियोलॉजी के बारे में तो सुना ही होगा, आप बीए के स्टूडेंट हैं, तो आपका क्या कहना है उनकी आइडियोलॉजी के बारे में?
उनका आइडियोलॉजी बहुत सही और बहुत क्लियर था। उनका आइडियोलॉजी एकदम क्लियर था, जैसे कि मतलब हमें अंग्रेज़ों से आज़ादी भीख नहीं मांगनी है, हमें लड़के आज़ादी लेनी है।
अच्छा, तो आप मुझे बता सकते हैं कि क्या उनकी आइडियोलॉजी की ज़रूरत आज भी देश को है या नहीं?
आइडियोलॉजी की उनकी ज़रूरत आज भी है और हमेशा से रहेगी, पर थोड़ा सा हमें मतलब वक्त के साथ बदलाव भी करना चाहिए। अब हमें अंग्रेज़ों से आज़ादी नहीं चाहिए, अब हमें देश में शांति और समृद्धि चाहिए। तो उसके लिए हमें उनके जज्बात हमेशा जो जिस एनर्जी से वो काम करते थे उस एनर्जी से और हमें काम करना चाहिए ईमानदारी से। और जैसे कि वो यूनिटी को लेके बहुत सतर्क रहते थे, हमेशा यूनिटी की बात करते थे। तो उनके आइडियोलॉजी यूनिटी के दायरे से देखें तो वो हमें आज भी ज़रूरत है।
अच्छा, धन्यवाद आप दोनों जन का। एक लास्ट सवाल पूछूंगा कि शहीद भगत सिंह का नाम सुन के आप लोगों के मन में कौन सा पैट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग याद आता है? लास्ट सवाल है मेरा।
पैट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग?
हाँ,
देखिए, पैट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग तो मुझे याद नहीं, पर मेरे दिल में उनके लिए बहुत रिस्पेक्ट है और मैं उनसे बहुत इंस्पिरेशन भी लेता हूँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत ही कम उम्र में इतना कुछ कर दिया था अपने देश के लिए। तो हमें भी कुछ ना कुछ करना चाहिए, या देश के लिए ना तो सही, अपने माँ बाप के लिए तो बहुत कुछ करना चाहिए हमें।
ठीक है, धन्यवाद भार्गव। आपके क्या विचार?
उनके नाम से मुझे एक ही सॉन्ग याद आती है, जो कि मतलब उनके लाइफ से मुझे लगता है उनके लाइफ पे बेस्ट है। कर चले हम फिदा, जाने तन साथियों, अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों।
धन्यवाद सुधीर जी, भार्गव जी। नमस्कार, तुमचं नाव काय?
जयेश सुनील माझे.
जयेश, मला तुम्हाला विचारायचं होतं की 23 मार्चला काय असतं?
23 मार्चला भगत सिंगची जयंती असते.
अच्छा, भगत सिंगची जयंती असते का? भगत सिंगची जयंती म्हणजे जसं तुम्हाला भगत सिंगबद्दल तुम्हाला काय माहिती आहे?
फ्रीडम फायटर होते ते.
अच्छा, फ्रीडम फायटर होते का? त्यांनी आपल्या देशासाठी काय केलं होतं?
आपल्या ते इंग्रजांविरुद्ध लढलेले, आपल्या देशासाठी बलिदान दिलं त्यांनी.
अच्छा, भगत सिंग बद्दल आपल्याला काय शिकायला मिळालं आतापर्यंत तरी?
शिकायला असं खूप गोष्टी आहे त्यांच्याकडनं. ते आपल्या देशासाठी लढलेले, कसं आपल्या हक्कासाठी लढायचं, ते त्यांच्याकडून शिकायसारखी गोष्ट आहे.
अच्छा.
हाय, आपका नाम क्या है? माय नेम इज़ प्राची तिवारी. यू फ्रॉम विच क्लास? आई एम फ्रॉम TY BF. ओके, आपने भगत सिंह का नाम सुना है? हाँ, सुना है ना. उनको कौन नहीं जानता, उनको तो पूरा देश ही जानता है. उनके इतने महान कार्य जो थे, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे अच्छे काम किए. आपको पता है उनका जन्म कहाँ हुआ था? उनका जन्म पंजाब में हुआ था. ओके, और वो जगह अभी भी पंजाब में ही है? नहीं, अभी तो शायद पाकिस्तान में कन्वर्ट हुआ. 23 मार्च को क्या हुआ था उनके साथ? 23 मार्च को बड़े दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि मतलब उनका डेथ हो गया था. उनको फांसी पे चढ़ाया गया था और उन्होंने फांसी पे चढ़ने से पहले उन लोगों से बोला था कि मतलब मेरे हाथ मत बांधना और मुझे काला कपड़ा मत पहनाना मुंह पे. बट मतलब उनके भी उन्होंने बोला कि हाथ तो नहीं बांधेंगे लेकिन कपड़ा तो पहनाना ही पड़ेगा. फिर उन्होंने लास्ट मरने से पहले ही बोला था इनकलाब जिंदाबाद. फिर उसके बाद में उन्होंने फांसी चढ़ाया. और आपको उनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में कुछ पता है? फर्स्ट जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन था वो नौजवान भारत सभा था और सेकंड आई डोंट नो. फिर भी आपको बहुत अच्छी जानकारी.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning.
Sir, how's you?
Fine, fine. What about you?
हाँ सर, इवन आई एम फाइन. सर, एक्चुअली हमारी क्लास एक सर्वे कर रही है भगत सिंह पर. तो सर उससे रिलेटेड हम आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पूछेंगे. तो क्या आप प्लीज़ जवाब दोगे सर? बहुत नॉर्मल है एंड जो आपको पता है आपको वही बोलो, ठीक है? तो सर, भगत सिंह को अगर एक वर्ड में डिस्क्राइब करना है तो आप कैसे करोगे? मतलब क्या आप उन्हें टाइटल दोगे?
In single word, I will describe him as a revolutionary.
ओके सर, तो क्यों आपने ये टाइटल चुना?
Why revolutionary? Because these people want revolution in the society.
Okay.
And why revolution? Because there should be some change in the society.
Okay, yes sir.
The people who are
Absolutely
facing the problems, so that they want some solution to
Yes.
such problems, and that's why these people try to do something in the society, and such kind of people like Bhagat Singh, they are revolutionary.
Yes.
जैसे कि भगत सिंह ये क्यों चाहते हैं, क्योंकि वो भगत सिंह का जो रिवोल्यूशनरी वर्ड है, बिकॉज दे वांट चेंज इन द सोसाइटी. दे वांट टू चेंज द सूरत ऑफ सोसाइटी, द फेस ऑफ सोसाइटी.
यस
यस.
ओके सर, अगर जैसे आप बहुत अच्छे शायर हो एंड राइटर भी हो, तो सर आप कुछ एक दो लाइन बोलोगे
देशभक्ति के ऊपर? मैं कुछ मराठी में लिखा हूँ. एक दो कुछ कविताएं हैं, तो एक दो स्टांजा उसका मैं बोलूँगा, मराठी में है.
ओके सर.
तो है, विश्व उद्याचे नव्या युगाचे घडवूया रे चला, समता ममता आणि बंधुता टिकवूया रे चला, समता ममता आणि बंधुता टिकवूया रे चला. समाज में जो लोग हैं, हीन दिन कोणी असे लाचार, देऊ तयाना सबळ आधार, हो देऊ तयाना सबळ आधार, एका मातेची आम्ही लेकर, हवा कशाला दुराचार, सांधू अनेकता नांदवू एकता, मिळून यारे चला, समता ममता आणि बंधुता टिकवूया रे चला.
हो, थैंक यू सो मच सर. एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर, कि भगत सिंह के जो थॉट्स है वो आज के गवर्नमेंट, जो आप उन्हें अगर एक कंपैरिजन हमें मिल जाता तो कि उनके जो थॉट्स है वो जो आज की गवर्नमेंट है उनको लिए कैसे काम आ सकते हैं? जैसे कि उन्होंने यूनिटी पे भी बहुत सारी किताबें लिखी है और और बहुत सारे उनके थॉट्स हैं ऐसे भारत की एकता पर, तो आप थोड़ा इस पे प्रकाश डालें।
जैसे कि मैंने शुरू से बोला है कि ये जो शहीद लोग हैं, ये जो हमारे महापुरुष लोग हैं, ये समाज में समता चाहते थे और समाज में जो प्रॉब्लम्स है वो प्रॉब्लम्स को मिटाना चाहते हैं।
यस सर, एब्सोल्युटली।
और एंड ऑल्सो इट इज़ एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट दे शुड इक्वली ट्रीट टू ऑल द पीपल, बट जनरली वी फाइंड दैट गवर्नमेंट इज फॉर द टाटा बिरला अंबानीज ओनली।
वो लोग आपस में ही लड़ते रहते हैं अपने अपने मुद्दों पर।
दे आर नॉट दैट मच फेवर विद द वर्कर्स एंड ऑल दैट। और ये लोग क्या चाहते हैं कि समाज की सूरत बदलना चाहते हैं, समाज में जो दबे कुचले लोग हैं उनको भी आगे सम्मान मिले, वो चाहते हैं। तो यहाँ मुझे दुष्यंत कुमार की कुछ लाइनें याद आती है। दुष्यंत कुमार उसके बारे में कहते हैं कि पीर हो गई पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए। पीर मतलब पीड़ा। पीर हो गई पर्वत सी, पीड़ा हमारी बहुत हो गई, वो तो पिघलनी चाहिए, कम होनी चाहिए। पीर हो गई पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए, हिमालय से नई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए। सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, हमारा मकसद है कि सूरत बदलनी चाहिए, सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। इस समाज की जो अवस्था है उसको अच्छे ढांचे में लाने का कोशिश ये सब महापुरुष करते हैं। इसलिए सिर्फ टाटा बिरला का ही नहीं, मतलब बड़े लोग सिर्फ पूंजीपतियों का ही भी नहीं, तो समाज में जो दबे कुचले लोग हैं उनका भी ध्यान गवर्नमेंट ने देखना चाहिए, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
ओके सर, वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन कि एज अ प्रोफेसर आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को भगत सिंह के थॉट से कैसे इंस्पायर करोगे?
मैं तो खुद भगत सिंह की जो एक्चुअली इट इज़ एन एसे, मैं नास्तिक क्यों हूँ, व्हाई आई एम अथेइस्ट, वो पढ़ने के बाद मुझे जो लगा तो उसमें तो मैं इंस्पायर हो गए। तो मैं भी बच्चों को मैं ये बोलूँगा कि कम से कम व्हाई आई एम अथेइस्ट यू कैन रीड इन
लिखा था
यस जो ही वाज इन जेल एट दैट टाइम ही रोट दैट बुक व्हाई आई एम अथेइस्ट, मैं नास्तिक क्यों हूँ। तो ये अगर बच्चे ने पढ़ेंगे तो बच्चों को भी कम से कम भगत सिंह के बारे में जो पता है वो अच्छी तरह से पता चलेगा एंड दे आल्सो विल गेट इंस्पायर्ड। सो आई विल मेक एन अपील टू द स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो एंड टू द पीपल आल्सो टू रीड एटलीस्ट दिस बुक। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, आपका टाइम देने के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच।
सत श्री अकाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Right. So that
Interesting. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lot of efforts that took.
Yeah. Inspiration.
Yeah.
Much inspiration is there for students, for newcomers, for
Right.
really.
It was the idea that instead of only listening to the speaker, let us involve students in some activity, and that is how this started.
Yeah, very nice. Very congratulations, Nida and the team.
Yes.
And Niharika.
Thank you so much, sir.
And Suchit, you took a lot of efforts, and it was really it was looking like a professional interview.
Yes. That is.
Yes. They were looking very much professional.
Professional. Yeah, it was.
EYBA ka Nitin Vishwakarma is doing the shooting and the editing.
I saw. Yeah. Nitin, good Nitin. I can't take all the names, but you took a lot of efforts, Nitin and team. Okay.
So now we move to the last part, after which this program will end. That is poetry recitation by Nida. Nida, over to you.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
हाँ. Okay, sir. तो ये जो पोयम है ये वैभव गुप्ता जी की है, जो एक बहुत अच्छे ब्लॉगर और लेखक और कवि भी है, एंड बहुत सारी पोयम्स है उनकी, और उन्होंने एक भगत सिंह के बारे में पोयम लिखी थी जो आज मैं बोलना चाहूंगी, जिसका टाइटल है आजादी का एक दीवाना नाम भगत सिंह लिखता था। तो बहुत अच्छी पोयम है। आजादी का एक दीवाना नाम भगत सिंह लिखता था, आजादी का एक दीवाना नाम भगत सिंह लिखता था, गांव के सारे बच्चों जैसा ही तो वो दिखता था, सब गुड्डे गुड़िया खेलते थे, उसको आजादी प्यारी थी। सब गुड्डे गुड़िया खेलते थे, उसको आजादी प्यारी थी। भगत के दिल में इनकलाब की दबी हुई चिंगारी थी। उसकी आंखों के ही सामने जलियांवाला बाग हुआ। जनरल डायर के आदेशों से कैसा खून इन्फाल हुआ। उस दबी हुई चिंगारी ने फिर जन्म दिया एक ज्वाला को। उस दबी हुई चिंगारी ने फिर जन्म दिया एक ज्वाला को। क्रांतिकारी हुआ भगत सिंह त्याग प्रेम की माला को। सॉन्ड्रस को मारा, बलिदानों की कसम भगत ने खाई थी। सॉन्ड्रस को मारा, बलिदानों की कसम भगत ने खाई थी। किए धमाके संसद में, बहरों को गूंज सुनाई दी। और भेजा जेल भगत सिंह को, उल्टी गोरों की चाल हुई। और भेजा जेल भगत सिंह को, उल्टी गोरों की चाल हुई। और पहली बार 116 दिन की भूख हड़ताल हुई। वो अड़ा रहा, वो अड़ा रहा सपने जिसने इनकलाब के देखे थे। वो अड़ा रहा सपने जिसने इनकलाब के देखे थे। वो मूंछ के ताव के आगे घुटने अंग्रेजों ने टेके थे। जो चाहा था भगत सिंह ने, आखिर वो अंजाम हुआ। जो चाहा था भगत सिंह ने, आखिर वो अंजाम हुआ। तीनों को फांसी दी जाए, फिर कोर्ट में ये ऐलान हुआ। माँ से मिलकर बोले, माँ से मिलकर बोले बेबे, मैं दूध का कर्ज चुकाऊंगा। माँ से मिलकर बोले बेबे, मैं दूध का कर्ज चुकाऊंगा। आजादी के हर दीवानों में मैं नजर तुझे आऊंगा। माँ से बोले तू मत रोना, ये धरती मेरी माता है। माँ से बोले मत रोना, ये धरती मेरी माता है। बलिदान करके एक वीर दिलों में सदा के लिए रह जाता है। 23 मार्च का दिन आया, ये भूमंडल भी डोल उठा। फिर 23 मार्च का दिन आया, ये भूमंडल भी डोल उठा। जेल का हर एक कोना उस दिन रंग बसंती बोल उठा। भगत की अमर शहादत देख नियति कांप गई होगी। भगत की अमर शहादत देख नियति कांप गई होगी। जब चुमा होगा भगत सिंह ने, रस्सी कांप गई होगी। पत्थर दिल वाले अंग्रेजों के दिल भी पिघले होंगे। पत्थर दिल वाले अंग्रेजों के दिल भी पिघले होंगे। और जल्लादों के आंखों से भी आंसू निकले होंगे। 23 साल का एक लड़का आजादी का दीवाना था। 23 साल का एक लड़का आजादी का दीवाना था। वो शहीद आजम कहलाया, बस यही तुम्हें बतलाना था। वो शहीद आजम कहलाया, बस यही तुम्हें बतलाना था। थैंक यू सो मच।
Very nice, Nida. That was a
Good.
beautiful poem describing Bhagat Singh.
Yes, sir.
With this,
Nitin sir.
Yes, sir.
I would like to appreciate Nitin sir for keeping this nice session of Professor Chaman Lal, Dr. Chaman Lal, and also for these beautiful videos that the department has made. And it has truly made Martyrs Day really commemorative and wonderful for our college and for our students. So I would like to thank the Political Science Department, Aruna Madam and Nitin sir for having this nice concept of commemorating Martyrs Day. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I thought you had left, so I was going to close the program.
No, in middle I was joining and looking what is happening.
Thank you for your appreciation and encouragement. It is possible because without it is not possible without your support that we can have such programs. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You were supposed to talk about the series that we have started with this program.
Yeah. So this is a national and international commemorative day series 2022. So all the departments can take note of this, and whichever days are falling in any month, we are going to celebrate as a part of the series. This is counted as a part of our NAC activity also under category 7, which comes under Dalvi sir. So any lecturer or any department which is having these lectures commemorating any day, like Women's Day or any day, even Gandhi Jayanti is there. So national or international.
Science
She
Day,
was,
Mathematics Day.
yeah, so even thank you, sir. Even that includes the Science Day, Math Day, even Accountancy Day. All these days we can celebrate with a special guest lecture or with some activity, and it will be under the banner of national and international commemorative session of the year 2022. So I think everybody, I think this program is an initiative, and all the previous programs also we are going to put under that category. Okay, so I hope everybody has understood the concept of celebrating the day under National and International Commemorative Day 2022. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone. With this, I thank you for your support and your participation for this program. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Good.
Thank you everyone. With this, I thank you for your support and your participation. Okay, so I'm ending the meeting. Bye everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Good.
Thank you everyone. This I thank you for